morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today, wherever you might be joining us from. It is Saturday, February 26th, 2022, and us this morning is me. The Bells is here in the car, and the kitty's in the back. We are making a quick trip to San Antonio to help out with something this afternoon, and the GoPro is powering off. You might have just heard that, but the reason I have the GoPro attached to the front of the Jeep is every single time I drive to San Antonio, I have to drive through an additional Border Patrol checkpoint. There's obviously checkpoints along the actual border towns themselves. So South Texas, McAllen, Edinburgh area, I'm a stone's throw away from the U.S.-Mexico border. Progreso, Matamoros, Reynosa, these communities, these where the bridges are at, obviously have checkpoints, but there's another one about, I guess, 80 so miles up the road in Falfurrias. So that is why the GoPro is mounted today. We're going to get some footage of that and driving through, and we'll give you some tips in terms of how to get through safely and effectively. Okay, so as we are pulling up here to Falfurrias, Texas, just a couple of things I wanted to mention in terms of points of emphasis for when traveling through a Border Patrol checkpoint. These are just suggestions. They're things that I do every time just to try to make the process go a little bit smooth, or as smooth as it could possibly go. And some of them are simple, and I'll also make some acknowledgments throughout the course of my points of reference here. But the first thing is just plan ahead. So there are these checkpoints that are here, and yes, they are at the actual border on the bridges, but again, there are multiple throughout the state on the southern border. I think there's another one coming out from El Paso, like as you're driving towards San Antonio. There are several. So just one, know where they're at, and two, plan ahead. You know, if there's a holiday, basically any time where people have time off, it's going to get a little bit busier. And I have sat the night before Thanksgiving traveling to San Antonio. I have sat at the checkpoint for a couple of hours. This is absolutely nothing compared to what some of my students endure every single day crossing the border. I work at a university in a border town, so they get up at 4 in the morning in order to make an 8 a.m. or a 9 a.m. class or work shift for us. But there have been times where they have called or texted and said, I'm stuck on the bridge, it's not moving. And they do this every day. They cross the border every day to come to class or to school or to work. So I know what I've had to deal with at Border Patrol checkpoints is certainly nothing compared to what they deal with on a daily basis. But plan ahead. It's just going to be important to do. You're going to want to make sure you have ample time. The other thing I would note, obviously you're rolling your window down. In the height of COVID especially, I was putting on my mask, and then I would just make sure to flip my sunglasses up off of my face. Not an issue today. I have my sunglasses, they're here, but it's overcast and it's a little bit drizzly, so I don't have to worry about that. But I just wanted to make sure that they could see me, and I do need to speak up in terms of making sure that they can hear me too. It's not a bad idea to have your license and or your papers handy, like have them on the seat next to you. I have never been asked for it, ever. One of my acknowledgments, I'm white. I'm really white. I'm the minority in my community. I'm white. I don't know how else to say it. So I have never been asked for a driver's license or proof of U.S. citizenship. I would suggest that you pay attention to their questions and be respectful. I'm always yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, but pay attention to their questions. It's not odd, and this has happened, rarely does it happen, but it's not odd for it to happen that, are you a U.S. citizen? Yes sir, I'm a U.S. citizen. Is it just you in the car? Yes sir, it's just me and the dog and the cat in the car, because I drive this way a lot. Do you have a dead body in the trunk? No, sir, I do not. But they'll ask them fire, like 1, 2, 3, and if you're not paying attention, you can get caught up. Again, rarely am I ever asked anything beyond, are you a U.S. citizen? Sometimes it's even, as I'm pulling up, it's my turn to come forward, I'm putting my sunglasses up and my mask is usually on, but they can still see me, who I am. Sometimes they'll ask a few additional questions. I do think that, I've asked. I know they have the technology. I didn't ask Border Patrol. I mean, I did ask Border Patrol and other people, but I have asked people who work for, our U.S. government in some capacity, whether that be Border Patrol or FBI, DEA. Like we've just asked. The number of times my car goes through, they're reading license plates, they're reading make, model, and color. They're getting this information so that when my car comes up and it's my turn to be, talking to whoever's there at that booth, they have something flashing on their screen, and they know who's already in the car. They know, they just know. So they can usually tell. They'll usually just double check. If I've come through a little more frequently than quote unquote our normal, I sometimes get asked additional questions. Where are you from? Where are you headed? Do you have a dead body in the car? I live in McAllen. I'm headed to San Antonio, and no, I don't. It's just me, the dog. And sometimes I bring the cat. It's just me, the dog, and the cat. So today it's just me, the dog, and the cat, and that's what I'll respond if they ask. But just pay attention to their questions. Be respectful, and have your materials ready. And if you're fine and have nothing of concern, then it's fine to pull through with confidence. I do say thank you, have a good day. I don't kill them with kindness. I'm just respectful, and I think that in a lot of times that's going to be the easiest way to kind of get through a little bit more efficiently. Okay, the inspection station is just a couple of miles away now. We are starting to see the signs for talking about contraband and how it is obviously illegal to hide people or smuggle things into the country. So that is what some of the signage will obviously show as we are getting ready to pull into the checkpoint. Generally speaking, for the trucks that are carrying actual, moving material, moving product, shipping items, they're going to be asked to probably go to one side, where the cars are going to be asked to go to the other. So just pay attention to the signs as you get a little bit closer. It can be a little bit confusing, but generally speaking, it's just they're going to have trucks go to the right-hand side at a lot of the stations that I've seen, anyways, and then they're going to have the cars and regular vehicles go to the other. Does not look too busy this morning. Be able to hear the kitty telling me she's tired of riding back there already. We've only been in about an hour, and Belle is getting ready to jump up because she likes to say hi to the Border Patrol agents as we pass through. So it looks like these 2 lanes here are open. So we are just going to jump right in here. Mask ready. Oops, wrong one. morning, sir. Sorry about that. How are you?
Doing
Puppy.
good. How are yourself?
Puppy and the kitty.
You a citizen?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So that was really pretty quick. They did one thing this time that they have not been doing in the past whenever I've driven through. They bothered to have a flashlight and, you know, take a peek in the back seat. They can see the dog through this way, you know, so I'll just say, yep, there's a dog and there's a cat. And they're usually just like, yep, okay, go on through. He had a little flashlight. He kind of just looked and he's like, come back, but it was very quick. Less than 40 seconds, I think 38 seconds and some change was how long it took. That's from when I pulled up, and at that point where you can scan your ID or point your ID towards the where you can just read your driver's license. So that's when I turned it on, and then less than 40 seconds later I was merging back onto the freeway. There was only one car in front of me, so that's helpful for when it goes quickly. But it really wasn't a horribly big deal, and they, like I said, they just did that. He had a flashlight, take a quick peek. He didn't really seem too concerned. I wonder, and I may never know, but I wonder if he asked that extra question or take that extra peek, because they have not done that in months. Months they have not done that. I wonder if he saw the GoPro mounted on my windshield. And it's the GoPro 10, so if it's still like illuminated, he could see that I was filming something from that little front screen. I wonder if that's why he might have taken an extra look. I don't know. But obviously nothing's wrong, everything's in order, so he has no reason to detain me, I guess. So, I don't know. Just something for us to keep in mind. Let's stay organized, let's plan ahead. It can be a little bit scary for folks who are not U.S. citizens. That might be where I would consider and suggest having all your paperwork handy. If everything is in order, though, then, you know, and you show them that everything is in order, then hopefully they're double checking that, and then they'll just pass you on through. But I can see where that would certainly be a little bit scary for a lot of people. I admittedly in the past, when they ask questions like, are you a U.S. citizen? Yes, sir. Or are you the only person in the car? Yes, sir. Do you have a dead body in the car? No, sir. When they ask things like that, I get frustrated with them, because I felt like they're just trying to trip you up. But in the grand scheme of things, I probably, even that, have no reason to be frustrated with them. I am sure it is a lot worse for other people. So I definitely wanted to acknowledge that. Thanks for joining me on this particular video. I think this will be the second vlog in the daily life series. Just enjoying what we're doing in terms of filming and coming up with some new ideas. And I think honestly too, just the process of filming and editing, that's just it's learning something new. So if you like learning something new, awesome. Thanks for coming along for the ride. And remember, until next time, let's make sure that we are diligent about living life outside of the work that we do. Tori says thanks too.